Welcome to the Lair, a place where interesting people you may know tell you things you didn't. So grab a chair and your favorite vice and get comfortable. There are no rules in the Lair, but there is Laura Babcock. You know her from TV, and she is not into media monogamy. Let's find out who else is in the Lair.
It's quite the ambient environment for a
This is
podcast.
great. I love this.
Oh,
This
good.
is awesome.
We're here actually, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Kerry Gray. He's the morning guy. I don't know if that's the best way to describe you, but you do the morning show on Y108. Morning guy, that work for you?
As far as I know, I haven't checked any email or anything, but yeah, I haven't been fired yet.
In the morning when I turn on Y108, we get to hear you on the air. And I used to think that I was one of the few members of a nomadic tribe. I'd moved like, I think, 17 times by the time I was 25. You have moved 38 times. What is that about? Is that just the nature of the radio biz or what?
A little bit. Some of it's running from the law. Some of it's just burning bridges quickly. And, you know, I don't have a lot of stuff. So I keep finding places. Sometimes I get 2 or 3. Radio is rather unstable. Our previous guest, city manager, says he has the nicest job. He may have hotter groupies and better hours and probably a better benefits package than me.
Hotter groupies than at Y108? Come on now. He's the city manager. Who's groupieing him? I don't want to know about it.
But I got a pretty sweet gig.
I got to tell you, actually, on a side note, one night we accidentally ended up partying with an excess at the Soho Met in Toronto.
Okay.
And so we're in the lounge. Yeah, I know, go figure. So we're in the lounge, my husband and I, and we were on a client credit card because we'd just done a gig. And so we didn't realize that we were drinking in excess's champagne. So we got a $700 bill on our client credit card the next morning, which wasn't pleasant. I offered to pay it, but they were cool. But we were partying literally with rock stars, right? But the groupies that showed up for an excess, not the kind of people that you'd want to have as your groupies. I'm just saying.
Now,
Not
are they
attractive
cougar? Are they
ladies.
Mellencamp? Are they like
They
what?
were cougars who looked like John Mellencamp. Is that a fair way?
Yeah, that's
way
great.
to describe
You sure that
it?
wasn't an excess?
That's Kerry's
And
favorite.
they smoked
Yeah.
more than Mellencamp does.
Wow.
So I don't see Chris as nice a guy as he is the city manager having hot groupies. But
Right.
you're a morning guy.
But
It's
why
gotta
am
be
I
some
here?
celebrity
I'm
in that.
following the city manager. I can't even license a Plymouth Breeze. You know, this guy's got the keys to the frickin' city, and I'm trying to make dick jokes sound cerebral. Like, come on, guys. It's like cool the gang coming on after Benny.
But you got to ask us what we'd rather listen to.
All right, here's who not to give the keys to the city to, and why.
Sorry. So 38 cities.
Yeah, I moved around a lot.
No, it's all right. It's all good.
Yeah.
So Hawaii.
Aloha.
Good gig. What made you leave Hawaii? for
I
God's
hate
sakes?
Hawaii.
You hate Hawaii?
Oh my God, it
Why?
sucks. Because
Because you're tan adverse, or what? You're a pale guy. You didn't like the sun? What?
I got rock fever, and living in Hawaii is like being a moth caught between the screen and the storm window.
You have what fever? Sorry.
Rock fever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you're trapped, you're isolated. It's
okay.
Gilligan, right?
All
Without
right, gotcha.
the little buddy.
Yeah.
And the
You like
hammock
to be
glove.
around the action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here, it's worse than Alcatraz, right?
Hawaii is worse than Alcatraz.
They have Kill Howley Day,
Okay.
where
tell
they're
us.
literally allowed to injure white people. They tell teachers, listen, if you're a local, you're cool. If you're a Howley,
Okay.
H-A-O-L-E,
Yeah.
then that means mainlander. They want you off their land from the minute you get there, and you took
Wow.
our job, and you flipped our format, and blah, blah, blah. So they're very racist. I did play-by-play of a guy breaking into my car in Hawaii. And halfway through giving play-by-play, oh, shit, I got a bag of weed in the front seat. Oh, and another thing, he just planted a bag of weed in the front seat.
No,
So,
but
it was-
I lived in Japan, right, which was a closed society for 1,000 years. One could argue racist in its nature. They're just Japanese people. But they called us gaijin. We were like this a similar word. We were the foreigners, whatever. And it wasn't meant as a compliment. But there was never a day a month they were going to beat me up.
Yeah.
So
Well,
what's with the Hawaiians? Why are they so
you
off the
know,
hook?
I like the idea that their idea of formal wear is tablecloths and like, you know, curtains.
Seashells.
Yeah, they're like, they make poor Belichick wear those goddamn tablecloths, right? You know, he's just like, can I wear a hoodie? This is bullshit. I'm Bill Belichick. And they got him wearing like aloha, like he's Don Ho,
Nice.
right?
Yeah, what's with that? Is something in the water? Something in the booze?
Other
What?
than Korean strip joints, there's really nothing to do. You drive around in circles for 45 minutes.
Oh, man, that's
it's very expensive. My rent was $3,300 a month, which is what I spent on herb. Yeah, and it was just like, you know.
Yeah, so you can't have your herb budget and your rent budget to be commensurate, right? There's something wrong with your life.
And it's 6 hours behind us with a 6-hour flight. And it's
Right.
not North America. It's a planet of its own.
Yeah.
And I was 28 and I was like, get me the hell out of this place. It's the opposite of Hamilton. Nice place to visit, wouldn't want to live there. The opposite of Hamilton.
That's a nice way
So
of
you're saying
talking
we're
about
not a
Hamilton.
nice place to visit.
But we're great to live.
Great
there.
place to live here.
You don't get a great
It's a great
impression
place to
maybe.
visit as long as, you know.
But you know what? Where I lived in Japan was Okinawa, right? Not far from Hawaii, also a little island. I was only there for a little while, though. How long were you in Hawaii?
363 days. I lost $20. It was a cheaper flight to get out on Saturday.
So you're from Illinois, though, originally, aren't you?
Michigan.
Michigan, okay.
Right across.
So,
I got as close to Canada as I
so
could.
where in Michigan?
Dearborn.
But Dearborn's, not exactly.
Born and raised in
That's-
South
that's
Detroit.
Rockford,
It's the
Phoenix.
first
Really?
suburb outside of Detroit. It's the first.
So you're used to the big pulsing city vibe, then?
drive till you stop hearing gunshots.
Yeah.
And you're getting close.
It's Muslim town there.
Well, it is now. It never used to be.
Rob, isn't that the place you were where they had cockroaches in your hotel room? Was that Dearborn? Oh, St. Louis. Okay, sorry.
Oh, don't bring up St. Louis. You
you
don't
work
need
there
any
too?
research on me. Do not bring up St. Louis. Everyone has a
It's officially
kryptonite.
brought up.
Is that
What's going
worse
on?
than Boulder?
Oh yeah, whatever happened to Boulder is nothing compared to the bridge I burned. in St.
Okay,
so
Louis.
what happened in St. Louis? I want to know. Dude.
Nothing. Exactly. I didn't show up for the job.
As much as you insist that you thought she was 18.
Yeah. No.
No, it was the herb that got him in trouble in the States. I don't know. How do you manage that in Hawaii? How did you not get in serious trouble?
I
It's not
don't.
like Canada, dude.
What's that?
You're not free in the U.S. with that stuff.
Not really. But
did you
now
start
that you
to
look
see
at
trouble?
it, the states I've lived in later became the first 5 states to legalize marijuana. I know it's a coincidence, but it's like Vermont, Colorado, Michigan. It's like I might have actually accomplished some legwork there.
So Hawaii, St. Louis, Colorado.
St. Louis,
also-
I never lived. I
never lived. Okay,
never lived there.
we'll keep St. Louis off the table
Yeah.
until a few minutes from now. So what was it? What did you like? Anywhere? I mean, other than the Hammer,
Hamilton.
you're currently employed. Yeah, but you said in your bio, you're like, you don't want to jinx it, you don't want to trash the city. It's the longest you've been anywhere other than I think
It
St.
is now.
Catharines.
4 years,
It is.
yeah.
See,
But you
so
know
the
what,
Hammer
though?
loves you.
He was not an on-air jock. He was a suit with a briefcase.
You were a
programming guy,
briefcase?
no?
Really? No. Really?
Most of that's true.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In Hawaii, you were
those
the
are all
suit?
separate allegations. I was a programmer at one
Okay.
point. I was a suit at one point.
And in Hawaii, you were
Both.
okay.
And a very young man with some big responsibilities in the radio world. But,
What are you, a fan here? Or?
oh no, I do
No,
my
he's a
research.
stalker. Yeah.
I know.
no.
I was gonna say. I mean, the
I
producer.
listen all the time.
The producer's the fan. He's like, we got. He never books anyone hardly. He leaves that up to me. He's like, we got to get Kerry Gray. We got to get Kerry Gray. But
And I said,
I didn't
who?
realize you were sycophantic too, dude.
No, I don't even
You're
know
supposed to
what
be
fucking
impartial.
station he's on.
I don't either.
You're Matt Hayes, right?
Yeah, without the suntan.
Yeah, you and Matt Hayes exactly opposite. So, any place you liked other than the Hammer?
Colorado.
Yeah.
I keep going back there. I
But
don't know what
isn't
it is.
Colorado kind of in the middle of nowhere? I mean, there's not like.
It's above the middle of nowhere.
But is Denver a pulsing city?
Yeah.
Yeah, really? It's a
Yeah.
part of
Absolutely.
Denver's great. Yeah, it's. I
I
mean,
remember Colorado as a stopover on my way to LA or somewhere. It's like,
No,
it's got
it's,
that cool
uh,
airport that looks like a bunch of teepees.
Well, that's crazy. That looks like a bad
That's cool,
sci-fi
yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
that was
it's
that
like it.
was being built when I moved there.
Okay.
And my interview was coming from Hawaii in February, and they lost my luggage at the opening of that airport.
But you have fond memories of. Colorado.
Getting the job in a flip-flops. Yeah. Oh, I love Colorado. Colorado's great. Vermont was nice, but those are like hippie light. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They're not
yeah.
real hippies. Like fake ones, driving dad's Saabs.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Trustafarians.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Like Dave Matthews, they think is real hippie. Right? You know what I mean? Wearing their Patagonia.
But Colorado is more authentic, more.
Well, they were into fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, their feet are dirtier. I think
Yeah.
it's more of a crunchier, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Colorado. I don't know what it is about it. I liked it.
So what makes you like dirty feet?
I don't know. I'm just saying that it's
Well, maybe
late.
Detroit. Detroit's kind of a rough town, right?
Yeah, actually, Detroit's okay.
You know, I was in Windsor recently, and I love listening to
Sorry
the
to
morning
hear that.
shows in the U.S. Yeah, but I got to tell you, the U.S. morning shows rock. I mean, I just not to say yours doesn't, but there's just something about the way they do radio in the States. I love it. And so,
WNBC.
but you know what? I'm listening to a local Detroit radio station, and this may be kind of a downer, but they had this guy on, and they were talking about the state of affairs and how bad the economy is. And this guest, he was a preacher, I guess, he said, you know, death's been knocking on our door for 20 years and just opened the door and said, you know, I got you. And then they're like, yeah, thanks for the interview, Preacher Joe. We'll have you on after the traffic or whatever. And I'm like, that is the most depressing shit I have ever heard on a morning radio show. And this was like an upbeat kind of show. How bad is stuff in Detroit, in your hometown, in Dearborn?
Well, I don't go back there very often, but growing up, well, I know the murder count, by the way, was 437 last year, 2011, 437.
That's a good year.
They collect them like career RBIs, you know? They call Atlanta and go, yeah, you call yourself a crime city? Fuck you.
Yeah.
We got like
Are they leading the country now? Are they leading the states
yeah,
in murders?
the local news was 4 to 7. Okay, so they would start with like the image of that yellow tape, that caution police tape, and they would have like a silhouette of a body. And they would count under, I'm Bill Daly with the news or whatever it is,
Really,
right?
yeah?
And like above his head would be the count of how many homicides
So like we
would
did
be
the
during
United
the
Four
day.
and
So
seven,
we did
the
like the
ticker would
United
keep
It would
going
go
up.
up, right? It would go up.
We did
like
the
we do that
United
with
Way.
scooters here in Hamilton.
So the Canadian equivalent is our United Way thermometer that goes up with the more
Yeah,
money
yeah,
that comes
yeah.
in. That would
Can
be
we get to?
murders.
It was a
That'd be
drinking
murders in
game.
Detroit.
It's like, hey man, do you think we can get to 18? It's the day before payday. We might get to 20 by the time Wheel of Fortune
So
comes out.
what brought you over to Canada? I mean, you're obviously close to the border, but
I
what
was
brought
in
you over?
Hawaii and I wanted out so bad. Well,
But Canada was the
we used to go to
the
Canada all the
escape route.
time. Like growing in Detroit. Yeah. Yes.
Anything's better than paradise. Let's go to Canada.
Doesn't that sound nuts? I know that sounds like the dumbest decision. Like, are
No,
you
no,
out
I'm
of
a
your
big
mind?
fan of Canada. I'm just saying.
No, get me off this rock. I'll go anywhere. So I went to Niagara Falls.
You're not helping.
Yeah. No, I always liked Canada.
Yeah.
Windsor was like this magical place. There was this little Babalu Island, this little place we'd go to, this little amusement park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
and
strip clubs, yeah.
And the young drinking. I used to be a reporter in Windsor, and
Really?
on Friday, yeah, at CBC right there on the
Yeah.
river. And on Friday nights, Saturday nights, I was also like a VJ out in the truck, and the stories would change, right?
Yeah.
It's because everyone would come over for the drinking.
Yeah.
All the people from Detroit. It got a little more dangerous on Friday and Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Because you had a lot of underage or people who weren't used to drinking from
Right.
the U.S. coming over, and a lot of gangs and stuff. I mean, there's
When you live
some
in
scary
Detroit,
shit.
Windsor's like Disneyland.
It is, and that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it was like Disneyland from Monday to Friday, and then if I was doing the Friday night shift, suddenly it was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
This is not Windsor, right?
Right.
But has it changed? Do you think? When was the last time you were down?
Detroit is, 2 years ago, is still the biggest disparity of rich and poor you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Like, one block, one suburb, it's just unbelievable. Now the rich are becoming
what's
poor.
that street called? It's called that big. It's gross. No, there's a street that goes down along the river, and it's got the rich gated communities that embank the river, and then on the other side, literally, I was driving my truck down one day,
yeah.
and on the left I would see gated communities and mansions, and on the right there were literally boarded up liquor and gun stores and burnt down buildings. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I locked my doors and went through every red light. I was scared shitless.
Yeah.
So how that is?
I think that's the reason why Google was invented. Nobody wanted to get out of their car to ask for directions. You know?
Seriously.
And Detroit's so all supportive of their auto economy that they found a way to kill people and still remain in their car. Like they invented the drive-by. What has Toronto invented? The fucking metrosexual shoe? Like, come on.
So you don't think? Do you think Toronto is a real big city, or do you think it's Canada's version of a big city?
No, it is a real big city. It's a clean New York. It's
Yeah.
a really big city. It's great. It really is. But like, let's say you've got a wallet sitting on a street, and 3 guys see the wallet. One guy's named Toronto. One guy's named Hamilton. One guy's named Vancouver. The Toronto guy is going to pick up the wallet without even looking to see if anybody's filming him or watching him or nothing. Pick it up and go, "Pfft, only $3,000. Ghetto, throw it down, right? Vancouver guy is going to pick it up. Be like, ooh, nice wallet, but it's leather. Who does this belong to? Do you realize what this leather's doing? Hamilton guy's going to find out who it is and go have a beer together with the dude and return it and give him $20 for finding the goddamn wallet.
Oh my God, that is awesome!
That is my
Applause, man. I
warped
love
perception.
that
About
shit.
Hamilton, Bermuda?
No,
Well,
man.
no,
Try it right now. Here's my
Hamilton.
wallet. Seriously.
It's a nice
Wait,
town we live in. Why are you trashing?
let me
it?
get my Popeyes Frequent Club out. And then you can have the wallet.
Do you really want to give Lauren Lieberman your wallet?
That's how much trust I have. I have 2 places. The one up on the mountain has been broken into more than Detroit ever has. I don't trust that fucking place. The one downtown, yeah, you and your hippie dippy country. It's not safe up there, buddy.
On the mountain?
My car got
Yeah.
broken into 3 times.
Do you know where on the mountain? Like near concession anywhere? Because there's a lot of.
No.
We used to live near concession.
No,
my
the
car got
snotty
broken into
part.
3 times. What's that?
In the snotty part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know.
I just
Lauren,
need
what were you doing
you're
that
talking,
night?
No, you're talking about cars.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Kerry, we were shooting the breeze at Chorus Radio's headquarters.
That's right.
And we're looking out the window, and some crazy, unfortunate young lady half parked her car because she was in a big hurry to get a suntan. And she left it in neutral. And very slowly, it backed up and smashed your car.
Lauren's like trying not to say anything.
Going, this is fucking gold. Whose sucker is that car? And Gary's like, ah!
So you got it. So you got to put that in perspective.
Yeah.
For a guy who
saying.
said that everywhere else he's worked has sucked, and he's been broken into in his home. He's had his car smashed.
Some bitch
into.
getting a suntan
So
smashes
how
his
bad
car
were
I
right
think
in
it was
front of
Matt
him.
Hayes. You said suntan. It had to be Hayes, right? So I got hit by a ghost. And so we're sitting there talking. I don't know if
Sonny
Mayor
was
Bob's there. Bill
driving
Kelly's
it.
there. Bill Kelly's there. And it's
Right,
like,
if Bill was there.
Lauren's eye contact. He's like slowly, peripherally going, dude, slowly, there's a car getting hit. Some poor motherfucker's car with New York plates is getting hit in slow motion. Sure enough, I get hit by a ghost. There was not a driver in it. It's not like we have an incline in the parking lot. That's the third accident I've had in the parking lot. There's one Polish lady pulls into me, calls me a doopy-ash. Turns out that's dumbass. I learn a new language every week.
So, given that you've had all this frickin' random crime committed
Yeah.
against you in Hamilton, why do you love it so much? Or is it just because it's the longest gig you've had and you don't want to blow it?
It gives me shit to talk about. You know? Just because Hamilton has a high BS factor. It's the anti-LA. That's what I meant about the wallet.
Hey,
For some
interesting.
reason, it's not Hawaii.
God forbid it's not Hawaii.
No.
Right with that.
So let me ask you this question. You said stuff to talk about. What is your deal with Giselle? I have never heard anyone harsh on someone more than you harshed on Giselle Bundchen.
Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, come on.
You went nuts. You wanted her to get divorced. You wanted him to be fired for her
I
being his
think we owe
wife.
Yoko an apology. Anyone who's ever used Yoko Ono as an example of a band killer, like, come on.
John Lennon
But
was
don't you
married to
think-
some kind of a Giselle.
Don't you think that she said something?
Trying it.
Like, okay, anyone who's a Patriots fan saw those Hail Mary passes and thought, come on, catch the goddamn ball. We're all dying of heart attacks here. She just expressed the frustration she was feeling. She shouldn't have been caught on camera. She knows she's a celebrity. That her words would matter more than if, anybody else's wife mouthed off. But really, a divorce for that? Come on, she's being loyal. She's being loyal to her husband.
That's not loyal. She stabbed him in the back. She sabotaged his career.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I'm
she didn't-
sorry.
she
Yeah,
didn't-
the
she didn't
band's
go and-
over.
She
You're
She
not
didn't,
allowed
go
backstage
she didn't do a
anymore.
morning show and say, this is what I feel. She made the comment after the game in the heat of the moment, pissed off to somebody. It got caught.
How is that supporting him?
My point is,
it's
it
none of
wasn't-
her
it wasn't a
business. Back of the
deliberate thing.
plane.
How is
no
that
way.
not? No, but how?
He's
what
flying
back
the
of
plane.
plane?
He's the cockpit. She has no right saying that. No right.
If
I
it
don't
had
think he
been-
interferes the
if it-
maximum and says airbrush her a little
But
more.
if he had
Eat a
if he
cheeseburger.
had of, would it have made news, or is this a sexist thing that people are picking on her as a Yoko
It was
Ono stereotype?
emasculating.
I'm saying if he had commented at a
I don't
Maxim
think it's a
shoot
sexist
that
thing at
Heidi
all.
Klum had a fat ass or something, do you think that it would have made national news, or is it because it's a woman saying something about her man's career? It's not okay.
I don't see how you think that's loyalty. That's worse than cheating.
How is that worse than cheating? She said in the heat of the moment, my husband can't do everything. The poor guy, somebody should have caught his passes. She was trying to, I don't think it was smart of her, but I don't think she was trying to hurt him deliberately.
I mean, imagine how I would feel if, my wife said, boy, you guys would have been number one if it wasn't for Ben. Ben
Well, she
keeps
said
screwing
if
everything
she was
up.
pissed off privately and trying
Okay,
to
but she
defend
didn't
you.
say that publicly.
No, she didn't.
That was at the
No,
I'm talking about when your wife was bad mouthing Ben. That was at the that was at the Christmas party.
Well, if there are three
and-
people in bed, is it public?
But what makes you so pissed at her? I'm just wondering what in your
Oh.
friggin' background or history makes you think that Brady should divorce a freaking supermodel because she said one heated
Because
little
that's
thing.
penis programming. She's interfering with the team, okay?
That's
That
PMS
is
programming?
penis
Oh,
programming.
penis programming. What? What is penis
In
programming?
order to fully understand the Y108 morning show, you need to become a little more misogynistic.
No,
Yeah,
that's not
clearly,
true at all.
clearly.
No, let me explain
I
that.
hang around with him enough. How much misogyny do I need in a day?
No, like, his job is to fly the plane.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Like, that's it.
Right.
No one's allowed in the cockpit. She has absolutely no
But
position.
she didn't go out and do a morning show. She was overheard saying these comments because she's a celebrity.
She threw him under the bus.
But it wasn't
They'll be
wise of
divorced in a
her.
month.
Why would he divorce Giselle Bundchen?
If
mother
I'm
of his
Mrs.
child,
Welker and I'm
over
Mrs.
that?
Branch,
He's not cool in the locker room
I
anymore.
get that, but hopefully his teammates would know that she said it and she's not him and he's his own man.
It was
He's done
selfish.
enough for the team. Come on.
it was a really selfish thing to do.
It was a stupid thing to do, but I don't think she had any personal gain from doing it. She
I
was
find
venting.
it an act of betrayal. I find it grounds for divorce.
Worse than cheating, eh?
Yeah, it is cheating.
Have you been married before or divorced?
This is my second one, buddy.
Yeah? So I'm just saying.
Ooh, a collector.
But you know what? Lauren's on what? You're on wife number 3, so.
Yeah, we'll go with 3.
Lauren's ahead of you.
Are you?
Of course.
Yeah.
Awesome, really? Cool. Which
I
one's
knew
your
the
favorite?
massages would bond. Sorry.
I hear the 7th one really sticks.
Is that right? Cool. Well, Larry King's up to 9, right? He doesn't even address them by names anymore. They're like hometowns, you know, Schenectady, New York, hello.
So your wife like Hamilton? Is she here?
She's from New Brunswick originally and has grown up in Hamilton.
So she's
Since
it's
she
like
was
Chris
6.
Murray said, the East Coast Hamilton, both
Yeah, East
punchy
Coast
in
to
the
East
face,
End.
kind of gritty
to East
shit.
Mountain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what is it that you guys love to talk about most in the morning show when you're not trashing Giselle Bundchen for nothing?
What do I like most about it?
Yeah.
Probably everything but the hours. I like the fact that I don't hate all the music. I like the fact that there's a little bit of freedom still left, and that I get to hang out and talk to my best friend about things that generally interest me, and feel like every day after I punch the alarm clock, if it just one person laughed or got angry and wrote a letter in defense of Giselle, made an impact on someone's life, it's worth the fact that that alarm clock is the biggest pain
Well,
in the ass
you're
in
very
the
good
world.
at it, which is why I don't get the 38 jobs.
I am rather independent.
You know.
Yeah,
You're
so
opinionated, are you?
I become a very team player, but like being a manager at a very young age and a coach and all that stuff, I don't think I'd ever hire me.
Can you ever really become a team player though? Because I'm an independent type, and team play for
Yes.
me is a stretch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When did you come to that epiphany?
When I
After Hawaii, you couldn't get lower, or what?
No, when Ben and I just formed a morning show.
You bonded?
Instead of meeting somebody 5 minutes before you go on the air, saying, nice to meet you, we're going on the air in a minute, it was having a relationship and a friendship with a guy and said, one of these days we should do mornings. I was his boss. I gave him his first job.
Really, eh?
And then disappeared for a while. And then the day I get canned in Buffalo, his morning show and PD left and said, all right, this
So,
is
you know,
it.
you said that it's an unstable business, and I get it. I used to work in the media full time, not radio, but how do you survive a business like that? Because getting fired multiple times, I assume sometimes you walked out like Hawaii. How do you handle that psychologically? How does the ego take that kind of stuff?
What ego? If I had ego, it'd be on TV.
That explains it.
I have a small penis, 2 scars on my face. I'm brutally honest. I like music and I don't know how to play it. I have nowhere else to go.
City Hall, you can go into politics.
Oh, City Hall, Ron.
Radio is my friend.
From radio politics.
What are you saying about your counselors, Ron? You know what? Well, it might be the place of last resort for you, but clearly it's a fit. We love having you here. I hope you continue to like Hamilton.
I love it here.
Well, you know, clearly it does too, because it's broken your record for the longest job you've ever had. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Vera. They'll get around to it eventually. That's part of Hamilton's love.
What's that?
We'll get around to it eventually. That's our city
We'll get
slogan.
around to what?
Firing me. It's like the Pan Am Games. Welcome to Hamilton. We'll get around to that eventually.
Well, you know what? 50
Check
years
your
on-
email. There's something from Jim.
What?
Sorry, buddy.
Are you serious?
I'm going in.
Oh, okay. It's true. I wasn't sure if I had pink slip or brown shorts.
Oh my God, this guy's got.
Your 5 minutes on Pan Am.
Oh, sure. I'd love to hear about it.
I don't know anything about Pan Am. I got that apartment because I thought I could see some velodrome, whatever the
Did you
fuck
really?
that is. Yeah. I was like, velodrome, that sounds like a breath mint. Cool. So I got this neat apartment, right? And I got to like see it like right on the waterfront to see this thing unfold. And I love destruction.
Yeah.
Because, you know, destruction means like future creation.
Nice.
You know, seeing
deep.
the dreams and
Yeah.
and the chemical explosion of Ream and that sweet sound putting me to
How many
sleep
Red
every
Bulls
night.
is the guy?
One.
Okay, I'm just
calm
messing
compared
with
to
you.
the
This
morning.
guy, yeah.
I
I'm
thought
just
Pan
messing
Am
with
was
you.
a TV show that got
Yeah,
canceled.
you know what? I think a lot of people share your view. They were hoping that this was going to be amazing. Those pictures in the paper of what it was going to look like
Yeah.
got everybody fired up. So you actually invested in it, then found out
Not
that...
really, I
that-
rent.
Well, you rent, but then you found out nothing's happening.
Something's happening.
Yeah? What?
Something's gonna friggin' happen. I mean, like, I don't care what's gonna be there, but I just know it's gonna happen.
I don't know if it'll be the creative explosion you're hoping for, though.
I think it is.
Yeah?
I do. I think that there's no like
Our peanut gallery just at Walmart's coming.
there's too many things in the stew. Hamilton's this melting pot, right?
Yeah.
You got a great music scene, you got a great art scene, you got a great white collar scene, curing the diseases of the world, right?
For sure.
And then you've got the underbelly feeding to the disease of the world. And you've got everyone with the biggest heart in the world, right? The richest community for the poorest city. And you got all this shit working together. It's a fucking melting pot.
Wow, you should write the city's logo. You come up with like 5 taglines in that one rant.
Something is bound to happen.
It's the richest city for the poorest
We should
people.
put Kerry
Yeah.
in a box with Chris Murray and Graham Crawford and come out with a defined
Oh
vision.
my God! Yeah, exactly. You
Or
see, the fact that
Last Man Walking.
The fact that none of our politicians were in that box speaks to some of the problem we have, right? I mean, come on. I love how you describe the city. I know he made fun of your Vancouver, Toronto, and Hamilton walk into a bar thing earlier, but I love that story. You have a real passion for this city. But something else interests me, Kerry, is that you seem like you're kind of what are your beliefs? Do you believe that the universe makes shit happen? Do you believe in energy? What do you believe in?
I think the karma bus is operating, but on a weekend schedule.
I'm not high enough for this conversation.
Neither am I. But if anyone can rectify that situation, podcast is the new medium of the future. Fuck radio, yay podcast.
Trust me, dude. We didn't ever say there were restrictions on how you came into the room.
I hope not.
However you are,
It's too
so
late
you
to
are.
consider that, isn't it? Nice work.
There might be other people in the room who are already there. I just don't happen to be one of them at the moment.
That's what it says here on my evidence. Nice working with you.
Podcast. Maybe is that the future of radio?
No.
Now you think radio is always going to have a place?
Yes. Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
the medium you bathe in.
Yeah. I mean, what's ever first is last, buddy. There were only 2 to begin with. Arthur Graham Bell or whoever the guy is with the feather and the ink dipping that shit, he was the first publisher. What was the first voice? The only live form, this is even recorded, isn't it? The only live form, that's it. We used to gather around. Instead of gathering around my phone, you gotta watch this guy get kicked in the balls. They would sit around in a circle and sit around this radio like this at 8 o'clock every night. You gotta hear this! And stare at it. I say we blindfold everybody, take all their fucking TVs away and their goddamn phones away, and we take back the soul again.
There's nothing self-serving about that.
No, but radio not. But if we're talking about the medium and not the specifics of radio, that's what we're doing with the podcast, right? No, there's no cameras going. Nobody's
Yes.
recording anything. We're just talking. It's
Yes.
conversation. So you're saying, and the word of mouth tradition, right, has been the entertainment of every culture for thousands of years. All you had was sitting around telling stories and entertaining each other.
Yeah.
Right. So you come from that school of thought. But tell me about this karma that doesn't work weekend shifts.
I don't really need to explain that, do I? I don't really. I mean, I don't know. I don't believe it. I'm deeply spiritual, but I'm not. I'm a spiritual free agent.
Nice. This guy's a line a minute, man. I love this. You're a spiritual free agent. Lauren, I think you two are soulmates, man.
We do have fun when I come
I
in.
bet you
I have a man crush on Lauren.
Yeah, do you have a man crush on
Yeah,
Lauren? I think a lot
yeah.
of people have crushes on Lauren. I can't figure it out.
No,
Explain.
we need to be careful when I come in and do the morning show.
Because it's morning.
No, and I'm not used to.
Restraint.
There you go.
Except for our show we do every week where you have to behave
Yeah,
yourself.
you
right
don't let
after
me
that.
say anything. So,
I
so you don't need to worry about me swearing if I can't talk.
Great,
What is
man.
your favorite line? I get paid by the word, you get paid by the half hour or something? Yeah.
That's great.
There's a reason I don't let him say anything clearly.
That's
I'm trying to keep
awesome.
him on this
I'm not
side of the
complaining. I'm
CRTC.
just suggesting how it goes.
It's the truth, man. It's just the truth. So,
The last show was great.
what's that?
The last show.
Our
You guys
show?
did- Yeah, last week.
Are you being a politician now and recovering or what? Lauren?
Yes.
What's going on? nice backpedal.
Not gonna word in tomorrow, Lauren.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give him.
Shocking.
It's gonna be a show.
I'll give him 2 minutes out of the 28. Kerry, you're a great guy. I'm really glad that Rob wanted to bring you in. Rob, since you're the
Thank
one
you, Rob.
You wanted to talk to Kerry. Anything else you need to hear from the man?
The only thing I wanted was just on radio in the U.S. versus.
Yeah, it's a good
But it
question.
doesn't sound like you were on radio in the U.S. long enough to really get that.
Actually, that's not true. I was.
He was 37 different times, just not for very long.
Yeah, Hawaii, New Orleans, Vermont, Illinois, Indiana. Yeah, Cincinnati. I've worked, I think, 10 years in Canada, the other 20 in the States. I prefer Canada. More freedom.
Yeah, for sure.
The CanCon thing's a little confusing to me.
And to everybody else.
But I get
Talk to Brian Adams about it.
Yeah.
I get the idea, but I don't think it really works. And
More in the digital age, there is no borders for music.
yeah, I don't think it's fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I
the
get-
idea was to support local Canadian artists, right? Yeah, it's not to play the same 3 April Wine songs over and over again.
No, it's painful. It's like
Yeah.
Rob always tries to force me to watch Canadian drama, and I'm like, I can't watch the same 5 actors do 27 different shows in Boston.
Support your
I just can't
husband's
do it.
paycheck.
I do
As
support the
crappy
CBC.
as the
I will
product
watch
it
any
is.
CBC. No, any CBC comedy
you,
or
Giselle.
news. We do comedy well in this country. We do news well. I've yet to be convinced we do drama well. I don't care.
We haven't done comedy
sucks.
well since
I'll say
SCTV.
this. I'll go and Mike about this.
Oh, here he comes.
The problem with it is and Lauren's gonna love this because I'm gonna bash CTV and Global and these guys.
Are you gonna bash Sun TV while you're at it?
Well, in a certain area, any station that can just buy shows for a percentage of the cost of producing it, and then you can't even watch the NFL here in Canada unless you got a great satellite. You got to watch CTV and their crappy promos. How is that going to produce anything better if the only thing you're ever doing is cherry picking shows from the U.S.? Of course, dramas are going to suck because there's no development to it. So that's why I try to watch it.
But look at Flashpoint. I mean, Hugh Dillon, this guy was spitting loogies on my head in the basement of a KFC, the Hideaway in St. Catharines 11 years ago. On a Friday night wearing Doc Martens. Now he's on my TV set on a Friday night.
Should I know
Wearing
what
Doc Martens.
What is Flashpoint?
Is that not the name of the show?
It's Flashpoint, buddy, yeah.
Is Flashpoint not
that a
CTV's
Canadian-
highest rated drama, Friday night,
But
CBS?
isn't that the freaking point? I know what
No,
the
it's an
US is
export.
highest-
It's an export as well. So it's like Hugh Dillon actually
but-
has more
But I know what
Emmys
the
than
top
Junos.
rate, I could probably tell you the top 10 shows in U.S. television, but I can't tell you
Your
Canadian
husband's
drama.
argument was very compelling, and I want to go home and watch some Bruno Gerussi. Right the fuck now.
So not Beachcombers, cooking with Bruno.
Or any of the 17 other shows
Either
you
way, I'm
probably
good.
did.
Anybody that wears a white suit, cooks, and drinks,
That's Rob's criteria for good TV. You're not helping your argument here on quality television, Rob.
That's
But
funny.
your point is there's not the interest to develop it. And yeah, why not? If you can just go and get the other stuff. But you mentioned something that I think has to be said, and we've got a pro here. The announcer who does the CTV promos,
Yeah.
that guy should have been shot 10 years ago. They take the best possible clips of a TV show and he ruins it with his VO. Do you know? Have you heard this guy? They even get him to VO good promos from US channels. They make it a CTV branded thing. The guy's horrendous. Like he manages to take every bit of excitement out of anything, and he has this monotone delivery. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's horrible.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, so why are they giving this guy all that? Like, who is he sleeping with? Or what's
Union
going on?
gig.
Is it a union
They're
thing?
stuck with
really?
him, yeah.
I don't know.
Listen to the
Anyway.
balls on this guy. Like he should be the
Oh.
Mark Daly, right? He should be the next. By
You
the
know,
way,
he
I
does-
love Mark Daly.
He did the intro for our Lair cast. Didn't even charge me because that dude's voice is gold, man.
Yeah.
Hey, no,
Oversized
seriously.
testicles.
Is that what
that's all
it
I can
is?
do. Yeah.
As opposed to Kerry, who gave us a different version of himself. I have to give you an award here, Kerry. You are the only Laircast guest who has ever left the Lair chair and sat on the floor. And now you're like halfway off the chair now, wanting to get back down there.
And look at the stain.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. You might want to bring a CSI light.
Yeah, that red stain has nothing to do with him, I swear to God. But you're the only guest, like he sat, I wish at times we had a video camera in here, because like you were sitting on the floor talking about the whole oral tradition thing.
Right.
Sitting around
That sounded wrong.
in
I
front of
was
Lauren
sitting on the
Lieberman, your
floor.
man crush. Yeah, it was a little
Oral
awkward, I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
So let's end on this. Why do you have a man crush on Lauren? Because I get weird fans and
we
lovers
make
of
each
him all
other
the time.
laugh.
But I didn't ask
we're
why you have a
pals.
mutual crush on Kerry. He's
Oh,
the
I'm
guest.
sorry.
Why do you have a
Because
man
he's
crush
got
on
good
Lauren?
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
I need a list, dude.
We'll keep that oral tradition going.
On that note.
Good voice, good sense of humor, good connections, good heart, good everything.
Wow, this guy's like the salesman for Hamilton and you. Seriously, do you have him on payroll?
A little bit.
A little bit. I don't want to ask what he's paying you.
If my, hypothetically, if my
Yeah.
rate wages were being garnished
Right.
by the city to pay off tickets, am I technically working for the city and do I get holidays that they do?
You know what? If that were the case, I'd freaking love it. Because ever since we moved downtown, probably
Yeah.
$700 in tickets on this street.
Oh, that's nothing. I call that Wednesday.
Really, eh?
Yeah, I got
You get-
1900.
Holy crap. Are you
We're going to have a
serious?
concert. Lauren's going to put it on. It's called Impound Aid.
Well, you know, since the city manager's gone, Lauren, we can talk about this. Lauren's up for the HECFI bid. I know you can't talk about it, Lauren, but if he gets his way, he'll have the convention center under his power. Can you imagine what would go down?
The city manager all hammered on brown booze and below him, but he left too soon.
He's coming back with a beer. He just wants to enjoy it while it happens. Okay. Anybody else want to ask our friend Kerry anything before I wrap up?
A question for Kerry?
Yeah. Oh, shit, now you're in trouble. That's what happens when you bring a friend. Come on, go for it.
Yeah, I've got a few questions for Kerry. I'm trying to, Kerry, how have you found Hamilton, doing a morning show in Hamilton as compared to maybe doing a morning show in St. Catharines just down the street? And how would you say that both stations are going in this day and age?
Wow.
I never did mornings in St. Catharines. I was the program director there, and I hired the cheapest morning guy in the history of radio named Ben McVie. And I think we're even now. And I think times were different then, and it was very different. I mean, that was 11 years, 12 years ago. There was kind of an expectation to be, I don't want to say shocking, but there was a lot more freedom then, and once you see a chick blow a horse on the internet, I mean, there's really nothing you can do.
Yeah,
You're
after that,
anesthetized, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just kind of say probably the difference is 20 IQ points in 10 years.
Nice.
Very good.
So, first of all, I'm sorry,
The
what's your name?
direction
Just
of
so
the
we, I
station.
like the
Well, this leads
listeners.
into my next question. What do you think of one of my midday host, Scott Penfold?
I think Scott Penfold has an enormously small penis.
Careful, that guy's got his eye on your job.
Oh, he'll never wake up.
No, I won't.
Kerry, I gotta ask you this. How did they ever lock you in an office? Like, how could you possibly not be on the mic?
It was tough. It
Like,
really.
you must have gone nuts.
I did, yeah.
But how could they not see that your talent is clearly in the oral tradition? And I'm not getting references from Lord Lieberman here.
That's how I got those jobs. That's unfortunately also how I lost them.
Oh man.
I'm not a closer.
But how do you finish? We all want to know now. Come on. Kerry, seriously, I can't imagine not putting you on the mic and putting you in an office. But I'm glad you're on our mic tonight. Thanks so much for being in the Lair.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
You guys are awesome. This is great. When can I move in?
Well, yeah, exactly. We have a couch over there.
This is great.
Thanks, Kerry.
Thanks, you guys.
Chats in the Lair is a Power Group production. Visit us at powergroup.ca or laircast.com, or check us out on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.